Hello everyone, Interactive Sage here for another YouTube tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own Roblox Application Center 2021 to 2022 edition. Without further ado, let's get right on it. So, before we continue with this video, I would like to explain a couple of things before we begin. I would like to explain that this video has been optimized using timestamps by YouTube. Basically, why I've implemented this on this YouTube video is that you can easily see the progress of what step you are currently on in the video, as well as if you are confused about a section, you can skip towards it with ease of access. So, at ease. And secondly, I would like to say that I will be doing a Q&A at the end of the video. So if you have any questions about the Application Center or how to get support, it will be at in our Q&A. So without further ado, let's get started. So what you are going to need to do is you are going to need to go to this link. It's basically the Application Center install link, DiscoBytez version 3 open source Application Center. I'll post this in the video description as well as in the pinned comment below. And what you are going to need to do now is you need to make sure that you are, first of all, obviously logged into Roblox. That's the first thing. And the second thing that you need to have is an application called Roblox Studio. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on this because I think the majority of the viewers on this channel have Roblox Studio already, and it's a very easy setup process. And it should come with the Roblox downloader if you already installed the Roblox application, such as Roblox Player, etc. So, without further ado, what we are going to need to do now is you are going to click on the three dots once you have gotten all those two steps done. You're going to click Edit. Basically, this is going to open Roblox Studio, and it's going to open the Application Center. And I'm just going to close off of these really quick. All right, you are now in the Roblox Application Center. Before we start editing and showing you how DiscoBytez works, we are going to need to open up the following. We are going to need to open up the Properties tab and the Explorer tab. How do you do this? Well, it's very easy. What you are going to need to do is in Roblox Studio, hover to the text set that says View, click on View, and then click Explorer and Properties. You don't really need the toolbox. However, I just like to do it that way because I like my screen being this size. I think it's just a personal preference, but you don't have to keep toolbox opened. We just need the Explorer and Properties tab for this tutorial. So once you have gotten those two steps, we are ready to start customizing DiscoBytez and editing the values. So what you are going to need to do is we're going to replace the text and edit some questions, but don't worry. What you are going to need to do next right now is you are going to click the triangle on the starter GUI. So click the triangle, and then click the triangle for DiscoBytez version 3. Once you are on this section, go double-click the DiscoBytez customizer, and it will take you to this easy and simple setup process. It's similar to the version 2.5 application center that I have done not that long ago. So right now we are going to replace the text for our group. So right now, if you notice, it basically says, "Welcome to Names Application Center." What my goal is that I want to replace this text with "Welcome to my company's Application Center." Or, well, not companies, that's not even a word, company Application Center. So how are we going to do this? Well, there's two ways, but I prefer the first way. So the first way to do this is basically there's something called a group ID. And basically, in a nutshell, if you have a Roblox group that you are going to publish this Roblox Application Center to, it will take the group name and paste it into DiscoBytez. So right now, for starters, this is actually the names the placeholder text for name, it's actually a group that Bobby, the owner of DiscoBytez, has. However, we want to make this my company. Uh, as you guys, if you guys haven't noticed, I have a Discord community called Interactive Sage Fan Club. And, well, it's not a fan club, but Interactive Sage is my home Discord server. Sadly, I don't have a group, so we are going to publish this to a different company that I own. So, anyways, let's get right into it. So, I'm going to go to pick one of my random groups to publish this at. I'm going to take, why don't we publish this to bold news? So you, first of all, what you're going to need to do is obviously find the group that you want to publish this to. You are going to go to the search bar, which should have the link already. And what you are going to do is this code right here, or number, you are going to copy and you are going to paste it into the group ID. And basically, although it isn't changing the name, it will change once the user joins in to the application center. You'll see. Now, we have gotten the title 1 done. Now, let's say that this is a personal project and you don't have a group for this. It's actually quite easy to edit this to replace the text. So what you are going to need to do for that method is you are going to need to delete this, and voila, you can start editing your name for the application center or whatever content that you are trying to publish. However, this is a company project, so I'm going to leave that field alone. So as you can see, I undid it. That's just option 2. If you don't really want to do it automatically, you can do it manually. This part you're going to have to do manually. I'm just going to say, basically in a nutshell, it's what we are going to do now is we're going to edit something called the title 2. It's basically you are applying for blank rank, press start for the continue. We are working on a feature to make this automatic, but sadly you're going to have to edit this manually. So I'm just going to say trainee, for example. So you are applying for trainee, press start to continue. And we are all done editing the front. All right, let's move on to the second portion of this video, which is editing the color of your Roblox application center. So at DiscoBytez, we offer tons of easy choices to use colors for. You can edit the background color, button color, text box color, text colors, cloud colors, and loading colors. For this case of this tutorial, I'm just going to edit the background color. So what I like to do is that what you are going to need to do now is to edit the color on the DiscoBytez customizer, you are going to need to pick an RGB value, which is red, green, and blue. However, there is an easy way to do that, which is using the Roblox's RGB color service. Well, it's not even a service, but a color implementation on Roblox Studio. Here's how. So what you're going to need to do is go to background right here, and you are going to need to go to background color 3 and pick a color that you would like. For this case, I want bold news to be red. Once you are done picking the RGB value, what you're going to need to do next is you are going to need to copy this RGB value. So I'm going to click copy, and then in the customizer, I'm going to paste it. And voila, we have edited the background color. Now, we are all done with the color editing of our application center. Let's actually edit some questions. So we have 8 questions. It's by default. You can edit questions like add and remove questions. However, I will be posting a YouTube video on that soon. Stay tuned for that. But right now, currently, it's a little bit complicated. We are trying to implement a feature that makes it easier to edit and add and remove questions in DiscoBytez mainframe. However, it isn't impossible to add and remove questions. The thing is you're going to have to edit a lot of scripting. You have to have some scripting knowledge to add and remove questions. Or in the Plus, it's a little bit complicated. However, I'm just going to assume that 8 questions seems like enough for your company. Anyways, so for bold news, I'm just going to add some random questions for this tutorial. Obviously, do not do this in your actual Roblox application center. So I'm just going to say random. And as long as it's in the quotation marks, it will not have any glitches. If you put text outside the quotes, it will not register. So make sure that you have the text inside the quotes. So what you are going to need to do next is you are going to also, well, who am I kidding? We have to edit. We have to edit some more questions. Actually, I'm just going to leave it alone since this is good. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so we have our random questions. So now that's about it for adding questions and replacing the text. So before we continue, for our last part of the Application Center tutorial, we are going to need to edit something called the webhook. And basically, the webhook ID is basically, in a nutshell, a code or digit. Well, it's a link that can respond to Discord servers because DiscoBytez is based on Discord to Roblox. Well, it's not Discord to Roblox, it's Roblox to Discord, but you get the gist. So, how are we going to do that? Well, first of all, we are going to need to make an application center channel. How to do this? Well, go to Discord. Go to your Discord server. I'm going to take my bold news Discord server if I can find it. I'm just going to do an easy search, bold news. And we are going to make a new application center channel. Now, I highly recommend making it a private channel if you have roles. That way, staff cannot see, well, not staff, but customers cannot see users' submitted application centers. That way, only you and the staff team can only see it. So I'm just going to make an application center called Submitted Applications. There we go. We are in Submitted Applications. And what you are going to need to do is you are going to need to click the gear icon. Go to Integrations and go to the section that says Create Webhook. And then I'm just going to name this Bold News App and then make sure to save changes. And then it's very easy. You're just going to have to copy the webhook. You can change the image, by the way. It doesn't have to be. And you can also change the name to whatever you like. It really doesn't matter as long as you have the webhook ID link. So make sure, again, to click the copy webhook URL link. And then navigate to this section. So we are all done with the Surface GUI right now. And we are going to head to a section called Server Script Service. Click the triangle and then double-click CloudHub. Once you are on this section, what you're going to need to do is you're going to if you have already copied that link, you're just going to simply paste it in here. And yeah, that's basically all it is to it for DiscoBytez. Really quick, let's test it. I want to make sure HTTPS service is on, which I assume so. Now it's time to publish. By the way, the application center will work if you do not publish it. However, obviously, you're going to need to publish it. And by the way, some features may or may not work because for this update, we have implemented something called chat filtering. So whatever text that is being inputted in the Roblox Studio side, it won't be hashtagged. While if you play it on the Roblox side, it will be hashtagged if it's inappropriate. So anyways, we are going to publish it. I prefer using publish to Roblox as, but you can click on publish to Roblox. I'm going to go to bold news. I'm going to name this bold news app. And I'm going to change it to bold news. And that's about it. it's published. Great. We are going to go to, now we are going to make sure it's active. So I'm going to go to group creations. I'm going to go to bold news. So bold news. I know you're here. Please excuse excuse my patience here. I'm trying to find out where the heck bold news is. Oh my god, it was staring me up in that face. So once you're on this section, what you're going to need to do is it will automatically be private. What you're going to need to do is you're going to click on private and you're going to make sure it's on public. That way everyone can play it and everyone can see it. So it's on public and we are going to basically try it out right now. So this is our application, Bold News app. It's going to wait for a little while. And right now I'm going to paste some random text as our placeholder. 6, 7, 8. And it will be submitted by our DiscoBytez service, well, from your application center, basically. And it's sending messages, and this cool animation appears. Now you can exit, basically, for the user. I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to go to our group. And as you guys can see, it has officially told me the questions from the user. That's about it for this tutorial. Thank you for coming to this YouTube video, and I appreciate you visiting our application center tutorial video. That's about it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day. All right. So, anyways, well, this is the DiscoBytez Q&A section. Hello, everyone. So really quick, I'm just going to explain some common Q&A questions. So the first question that the majority of users have about this version is that, what is new in this version for version 3? Basically, in a nutshell, there's a lot of new things in version 3 of DiscoBytez. I can name a couple. Well, not a couple, a lot. So the first thing that is new with DiscoBytez is that we have implemented the chat filtering implementation, as well as a new format and new UI and new options for users. It's quite similar to the version 2 application centers. That's why in every version of DiscoBytez we want to make it same and familiar. Not same, but familiar to the user. That way they can have an easier time setting up DiscoBytez. Now, a couple of questions that I've seen on the YouTube comments is basically, how can I get support? My questions aren't working. How can I contact the support agent? Well, it's quite simple. In all of our YouTube videos for DiscoBytez, we basically have the invitation link towards our Discord. That way, users can easily see and get in contact with a support agent at DiscoBytez. Will happily help them. And then the third question that I have is basically, are we going to implement an auto rank feature for DiscoBytez, like a group automation feature? Well, basically in a nutshell, we are going to implement that in the future. The thing is that the thing is that DiscoBytez only has one developer working on our project, Bobby the cat. He's not really that into scripting for the group rank side, and however, I will say that it will probably be done this year in our version 4 or version 5 application centers. Anyways, really quick before I end this video, if you are an old user of DiscoBytez, I want to say thank you. We came a long way. I want to say really thank you from the bottom of our hearts at DiscoBytez, including myself. I want to say thank you for using our service these past years. Without you, there wouldn't really be a DiscoBytez. It would be just a project for me, and I wouldn't really exist on this on the YouTube platform as well. So I just want to point that out there. Thank you so much. I honestly appreciate you using our service, and everyone does at DiscoBytez. Thank you so much again. Anyways, that concludes the YouTube video, like I said in the past. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to share this video if you're with your friends. This is truly a remarkable application center that I have used personally. It's honestly, I prefer it over many application centers on the Roblox platform. And because of it's easy to use and there's no website involved, it's very easy. Anyways, have a good, this is Interactive Sage signing off. Have an awesome day.